Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. Good morning to everybody. This is going to be this is an impromptu live stream. I didn't give you all fair warning. I just saw an article. I wanted to share it, and I wanted to get your thoughts, your feedback on it. This weekend, we had some great panels this weekend, fantastic live streams. And I mentioned on several of those panels that I felt like something was different about this week. Starting last Thursday into the weekend and even into yesterday when Kirk and Candace sat down for a little meeting in the ladies' room, right? And I just said something just didn't seem right. Something seemed different. I don't want to say it was off or anything of that nature, but just that things just seemed different. I mean, Candace wasn't able to go live on Friday. She's been getting mass pushback from just everywhere, left, right, and center. Just everybody is pushing back on Candace and her narratives. I got some other stories that are going to drop later on today. She's in bad shape. She's in a bad way. She's down bad, as the kids would like to say. But something I saw today, I got to talk about this. So let me tell you what I'm talking about, because you're probably wondering. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Thank y'all, everybody who hopped in and jumped in. Inside Candace Owens' sadistic and dangerous world monetizing baseless conspiracies. That title alone already throwing bows. So this is from the New York Post. Not saying that it's the best news outlet, but this is just something that, going back to what I said before, like, now they're calling her out like this? Watch this. Candace Owens' attacks on Kirk are fueled by her own jealousy and bitterness at being pushed out of Turning Point USA, sources claim to the Post. Wow. That's something that, now, of course, we got these infamous sources, right? We got to treat that with a grain of salt, but many of us have said that's part of the reason why. The independent broadcaster, 36 years old, described as a sadistic and dangerous by insiders, didn't hold back from spreading baseless conspiracy theories about the grieving widow and her husband, activist Charlie Kirk, after his assassination on September 10th. For those who have crossed her path, Owens' disregard for the truth, pursuit of attention, and reckless behavior are all calculated. Now, of course, we got to take this with a grain, but like I said, you don't hear many people calling her out like this. And this is not podcasters, this is not YouTubers. This is the news now. The newspaper is starting to say this. Well, I wonder where it's going to go. Candace Owens. Those who spoke to the Post claim Owens was loathed by staff when she worked at the Daily Wire. Guests on her podcast doubt she believes her own lies, and her pattern of inflammatory behavior can be traced all the way back to high school. Like I said, man, something is going on. Something is changing in the conversation, that this is now what we're talking about. Because now they're bringing up everything. I mean, they're going all the way back. Lots of you all have talked about what happened when she was in high school and that case about the kids calling her and threatening her, so on and so forth. There's more of this is starting to come up and is becoming common discussion. This is going to be very interesting. Everything she is doing right now is because she wants to destroy Charlie's legacy and the organization he built, because he threw her out of TPUSA, alleged one insider. I don't see a reason. I don't see a lie. I think there's a lot that can be said there. I think there's a lot of reasons, but I do think that's part of it. No question, no doubt. Hold on one second. Got it. All right, let's keep it going. Owens worked for TPUSA as a communications director between 2017 and 2019. A lot of people are starting to pick up on this as well, because Candace, let her tell the story. She built Turning Point. I even thought, you know what, yours truly, I actually believed that she and Charlie started Turning Point together, because the way that she says it and she frames it. No, Turning Point was already up and moving and grooving by the time Candace came on board. So she was So she is, and a lot of people are starting to call her out about that. That, hey, you weren't there at the foundation. You're not a mason of the organization. You are just an employee that they fired when you started wilding out. Charlie pushed her out because she was going a little bit nuts, a source close to TPUSA brass claimed to the Post, but noted he would still text her to keep the friendship going. And lots of us have said this. Lots of us have said this, that Charlie Kirk kept his enemies close. He just did not want to start a war with Candace Owens. I wish he had. I wish he had at least separated himself, because we probably wouldn't be having this discussion if he had. But let's continue. Hey, let me read these captions real quick. Sorry about that. Let me do this. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens at Turning Point USA event in 2018. All right, there's Charlie and these ducks. You like these ducks? Charlie and Erica Kirk are seen in an undated social media photo. All right, we got, of course, Erica. Erica Kirk accepted the inaugural Charlie Kirk Legacy Award on stage during the 25 Fox Nation Patriot Awards. After Charlie Kirk started dating Erica in 2018, the sources added Owens was feeling usurped. Who is this interloper who knew nothing, taking over, the sources claim. She wasn't invited to Charlie's wedding. That was really telling. I don't think going to somebody's wedding has to be the vanguard of our relationship. However, I do think it does say something about their engagement. So we do know that Charlie and Erica did go to Candace's wedding. We don't see any proof or evidence that Candace and George went to Charlie and Erica's wedding. That's what we don't see. I don't even know. I don't think so. Owens and Erica agreed on a truce over the weekend and were set to meet on Monday to hash out their differences. Shout out to Steven Crowder. He did an excellent understanding or breakdown of this, and I think that I think that's going to be crazy. Let's keep it going. Shout out, is Bronson in the chat? What's up, Bronson? Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good to see you, man. Conspiracies that Owens has spread about Charlie's murder include the involvement of Israeli Mossad agents, the U.S. military, Egyptian planes. Shout out to the Egyptian planes. The planes is coming down, y'all. The planes discussion. And I have a video we're going to talk about today when we do our live stream this afternoon. Yo, the planes, I've been saying the planes were stupid. Now the planes, not only are the planes stupid, the planes are not even in this continent. Let's keep going. And the French government, despite it having occurred in public and being captured on video, the alleged assassination is in custody. Assassin is in custody awaiting trial. Candace Owens invited Jewish comedian Ami Kozak on her podcast to discuss Zionism and anti-Semitism. I don't think I knew that. I don't think I knew that he'd come on her channel. Comedian and commentator Ami Kozak, who appeared twice on Owens' podcast, there we go, last year discussing the Israel-Hamas war, said he believes her conduct follows a familiar pattern. She goes against the grain. For going against the grain's sake, he told the Post, is anti-Semitism in pursuit of an audience and self-aggrandizement, not a pursuit of truth. The Anti-Defamation League named Owens Anti-Semite of the Year in 24, citing her statement that Judaism is a PDF-centric religion that believes in demons and child sacrifice. The spreading untrue conspiracies such as Israel's involvement in 9/11 and a secret group of Jews in Hollywood was involved in the death of Michael Jackson. Yeah, we talked about that as well. Owens has also promoted the blood libel conspiracy that Jewish people delete Christians and use their blood in ceremonies. That's crazy. Kozak pointed out that many of Owens' claims collapse under even basic scrutiny, and that is why that's why Cantifa doesn't want you to point that out. They don't want you to call that out. Do not call out the fact that we have not done any due diligence in our, What? Hold on. TPUSA was founded in 2021. Wait, you might want to check your statement. That doesn't even make sense. I've been shopping. Come on, don't call me Al Bronson. I'm trying to build up my studio, man. I'm trying to get a sit-stand desk. He calling me out, y'all. Put Bronson in the chat, y'all. Bronson out here harassing your boy early in the morning. Don't do that, man. Let's keep it going. What drives her is power and influence in the culture, but the house of cards is crumbling as more of her claims are unsubstantiated. He added, I agree. Wait, I know you all have seen the Egyptian plane debunking, and it's brutal. It's so bad. And I might just pull it in today, but I'm going to do it this afternoon. Maybe I'll do it right now. I don't know. But it is so bad because there have been questions that I was asking, and I'm not even a plain guy, right? I just had some questions about her quote unquote verifying this stuff. But let's keep going. A spokesperson for Owens responded to the Post request for comment saying the allegations against her are baseless, but very funny. That sounds just like Candace spokesperson. That sounds just like her spokesperson. Owens is also facing a huge reckoning in court when Brigitte Macron defamation lawsuit against her comes to trial, expected next year. That case is not going anywhere. Brigitte is in the catbird seat, and she is going to take all the time she needs. That thing's going to go on forever. That thing's going to go on forever. I'm just saying. Macron filed a 238-page lawsuit in July 2025, alleging that 22 accounts of defamation and a campaign of global humiliation for financial gain against her. Like, where's the lie? Anybody seen the lie? I don't see it. The lawsuit claims Owens continued to repeat false allegations that the French First Lady was born a man, even after her attorneys were provided with extensive documentation. Shout out to, I think his name is Nick Brooks, the young attorney out there in California who explained defamation. The fact that Candace was using the evidence that the Macrons and her lawyers sent out to her as her content is nasty work. That's some diabolical work that they send a proof to her. She uses the proof to continue her content. Look, it's going to be hard for her to say that she didn't have malice. That's what I'm going with that, including birth records, childhood photos, and pregnancy records from her 3 children, all demonstrating Macron was born a female. And here's Lord Michael Farmer, who is Candace's father-in-law. To conclude, I should point out that I am a Christian, deputy chair of the Council of Christians and Jews. This was founded in 1942 as a bulwark against anti-Semitism, and a monarch has always been its patron, Lord Michael Farmer. That's her father-in-law. According to the complaint, Owens ignored multiple retraction requests. I don't know how she beats that. I have no idea how she beats that at all. I don't get it, because if I'm not mistaken, they reached out to her 3 separate times, giving her the information, and she just kept on going, saying they sent her an email. No, it was a true legal document that she ignored. I don't think she's going to beat those charges at all, and continue her relentless bullying with her 8-part podcast, Becoming Brigitte, and related merchandise sales. The merchandise sales is crazy. The merchandise was crazy, man. The Macrons can argue Owens was in possession of the facts. Oh, come on. She was in possession of facts, but chose to ignore them to prove their case. Legal sources told the Post she had this stuff in her hands and she ignored it. That's going to be I don't see any way around that. She's about to be in serious financial difficulties if the Macrons succeed in their lawsuit, a source claimed to the Post. She really is on the line for a huge sum of money. I think she probably realizes that now. Now, of course, I don't know who this person is that's saying that, but I do agree with that, so I'm going to say it with them. Amen to that. That's crazy work. That's some nasty work. Sources also allege that Owens' Semitic behavior has strained ties with her own extended family. Her British father-in-law, Lord Michael Farmer, included a statement after Owens repeated various comments about Jewish people. In view of the public comments from a high-profile member of my family, I want to put my own views on anti-Semitism on public record, he wrote. That's crazy. That's crazy. Your father-in-law got to come out and distance himself from you. That's nasty work. How do y'all do Thanksgiving dinner? How do y'all do Christmas when your father-in-law is like, look, girl, you might be going a little bit too crazy. That's wild work. On public record, he wrote, explaining how he had known many Jewish people in his private and professional life and serves as a Christian deputy chair of the Council for Christians and Jews, a group founded as a bulwark against anti-Semitism. Sources said if Lord Farmer cuts off his son, man, George Farmer and Owens, they would face further financial complications. This is very interesting. Do you think? Oh my gosh! Keep it going, Can keep it going. A source who knows the family said George has never had a real job and is mostly known for his lackluster attempt to launch a right-wing Twitter alternative called Parler, which is still active but has a dwindling number of users. I didn't know Parler was still up. Okay. Oh, shout out to that. Okay, shout out to Parler. Owens and her husband now live in Nashville, where she broadcasts her show, which is very lucrative according to Fortune magazine, which estimates her estimated this month, her company generates about $10 million a year. I think that's very, very conservative. If she popped up and had record that it was more than that, I would not be surprised. That's a large turnaround from her more humble beginnings in Connecticut. There in 2017, she owed 6 months of back rent on her $3,500 a month 2-bedroom luxury apartment in Stamford. See, like, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, more of these stories that other people have called out. Shout out to like Lady Luck Club and Artie Trolls and of course Bronson and other content creators who've been calling it out. Now it's starting to gel into the news and starting to talk about it. Because I don't remember, not saying I've read every news article, I don't remember a news outlet talking about the 3,500. I remember podcasters talking about it, but I don't know the news talking about it. That's different. Faced with eviction, she instead filed a lawsuit against the landlord, 3 Harbor Point Square, claiming the apartment had mold and was seeking $15,000 in damages for systemic yeast infections, impacted serum, which is earwax, and her left ear, and emotional distress. She lost the case and instead had to pay the landlord $20,000 in damages and legal expenses. I think it's interesting. This case and all of that going on right there, she was about $20K in debt when she met George. I just want y'all to remember that. Even further back in 2008, Owens, then a recent high school grad, and her father, Robert, were awarded $37,500 settlement from the Stanford Board of Education after they sued the school district in federal court for knowingly failing to refusing to protect Owens after she received racially and sexually threatening voicemails from a group of fellow students. Now, this is a story a lot of people have been talking about, and because of her age, it's sealed. But it's sealed. However, I got this feeling, man, so many people have been talking about this. I won't be surprised if this case somehow or another gets out there. Let's keep it going. After leaving TPUSA, Owens moved to the Daily Wire and Insiders. Why do people keep skipping over PragerU? She went to PragerU, then to the Daily Wire. Shout out to Dennis Prager, man. Y'all put some respect on Dennis Prager's name, okay? Why do y'all keep forgetting this man? Shout out to Dennis. After leaving TPUSA, Owens moved on to the Daily Wire, and insiders claim she graded with other people who worked there from the start. One source said that her first week she threw her car keys at a producer and expected them to park her car. She also said to have expected others to conduct her research. I totally believe that. I totally believe that. Demanding a huge studio to film in and attempted to use the company's publicity arm to push herself, questioning why she hadn't been placed on the cover of People magazine. She was one of the worst people I've ever worked with, said one source. I just wish they had names. I just wish these people would say, look, I'm the one. My name is John Smith, and I stand by this. Let's keep it going. Other sources say Daily Wire co-founder Ben Shapiro never wanted her there, but investors insisted she would be a good fit. Wow. Okay. Oh, we got to go over the I was going to go over the what happened when Mr. Boring, Joshua Boring, Jeremy Boring, read out how she was fired. I got that as well. That's going to be this afternoon, though. Her tumultuous tenure at the Daily Wire ended last year after Shapiro publicly condemned her disgraceful anti-Semitic rhetoric. Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship, CEO Jeremy Boring said in a statement. Owens confirmed the news on her own post, writing, "The rumors are true. I am finally free." Without the constraints of the corporate framework around her, Owens may be making more money than ever, but whether her arguments that she is just exercising her right to free speech remain to be seen in court. Y'all, let me real quick. Let's see. Lots of good. Let me see. They got some good comments right here. I'll leave it for y'all to go check it out. I think we are watching. Again, I think the tide is turned on Candace, and I do think she's going to end up probably experiencing a massive pushback, not just from her base, but from those people that are just kind of like watching it, that have been checking it out, that are not really supporters, that just kind of whatever. I think that's going to be who ends up pushing back, and then like, nah, we're not messing with you. And she's going to see a huge drop off. Shout out to Edie. What's going on? The meeting was a mistake. Candace is coming with all the details later today. But how will we know if those details are true? We won't. It'll be Erica's word against Candy. I think you make a great point. This is the only thing. Personally, I think TPUSA just said, look, we're going to go ahead and we're going to quash this. Whatever she does, she's going to do. I don't think TPUSA is going to address her ever again. I think this was we're going to address the narcissist, and now from here, we're just going to starve the narcissist. That's my thought. I don't know that emphatically. I have no inside intel or anything like that, but I can't see that they're going to keep going back and forth with her. They're going to say, hey, this is what we did. This is what we said. I'm sorry, we already said and did whatever, and just leave it alone. They got AmFest this week. They're not going to keep going back and forth with her. They're not. They're not. I don't see TPUSA investing that amount of time and effort and attention into her anymore, in my opinion. Yo, shout out to Bronson. What did Bronson say with the 10? Put this toward your uplift desk. You really do? Oh, okay. Then I need to give you a holler. I'll give you a holler later on today because I got some questions about it. So shout out to Bronson. Thank you so much, man. Supporting your boy getting the sit stand desk. Thank you. Oh, I got lots of questions now. Now I got somebody who actually has one. Perfect. Be ready. Get by the phone, my brother. Get by the phone. Man, Candace ain't going to AmFest. Man, no. No. Because remember, she called TPUSA a demonic organization. Like, what? Why in the world would... No. Now, she can go and buy her own ticket. She told people not to go to AmFest, truth be told, and to take their money away from supporting TPUSA. Nah. I don't think they're going to mess with her at all. Now, I want to pull in, I did not intend to, but shout out to the 710 people that jumped into the best live chat on the internet. Let's just real quick. I want to talk about what Steven Crowder said. Steven Crowder, I think, again, I don't know if Steven Crowder is the guy that has been trolling Candace with the airplane and the 920 building, all that kind of stuff like that. I don't know if he's been the one trolling her, but my goodness, in the morning, he has been crushing it. Okay, I don't have it, darn it. Here, let me go to Storybox. Storybox had it. I thought it was a great thought on where this is going to go next, which I think most of us have been interested in, right? Sorry about that. Let's see what the story box had to say real quick. Yeah, thank y'all so much for jumping in with me. I let me tell you right now, I would absolutely love for that to be the case. I would love for Steven Crowder to come out, y'all. I've been sending her messages and proof and evidence that he's been doing it. I would love to see that. Hold on one second. All right. It's a little, all right, I found it real quick. I would love that. Right here it is. What's Bronson say? A point that needs to be made. Candace was able to stop TPUSA from doing their podcast addressing her claims and accusations. That is true. But I think it's better than going tit for tat with her. Because then all they're going to do is whatever they had put out yesterday, Bronson, Candace would have said something that they were lying, or they'd have had all their I's crossed and their T's dotted. She would have come up with some way to make more content out of it. Now there is no content, at least from them. They said, look, we're about to move on per Erica's commentary that they're going to move on. I think that's probably the smartest thing to do. They thought about it. They said, look, we could go down all these dumb statements that she's made, and she's going to just come up with more dumb statements, or she's going to try to refute them, and then it's going to be a tit for tat. I think they might have done the right thing by just addressing it off camera. She gets no content. She's got to make her own content. And because Cantifa is going to believe no matter what. So they're going to say, oh, well, Candace did this and Candace did that. They're going to go with that no matter what. Whatever she says, they're going to roll with it. So that's my thought. But I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Bronson, for the insight on that. Okay, let me be real quick. I'm just going to bring Storybox in very quick and talk about this, what Steven Crowder said. So we're going to do it like this, Jason. Stop the screen. There we go. That's how y'all know this is a real show. Y'all know this is a live show because your boy don't know what he's doing. All right, we're going to bring this in real quick. Let's go. Shout out to Storybox for sure. He had it, so I'm just going to use this clip. And if the mods can please make sure that we drop Storybox in the chat for sure. Let's go.
Good conversation. Thank you.
Green hearts
now,
in the chat.
Before I have anything that I want to say about this, I want to show you what Steven Crowder had to say about this. Have a watch.
Erica posted that Candace Owens and I are meeting for a private in-person discussion Monday, December 15th. Candace and I have agreed that public discussions, live streams, and tweets are on hold until after this meeting. I look forward to a productive conversation. Candace said, I'm very much looking forward to this discussion. Look, here's my prediction for this, okay? This is going to take place, and afterward, I would bet that Candace will say, look, I said that Erica would be the only one who could make me stop if she asked. And the questions have been answered in relation to TPUSA being implicated. I think she's going to walk this back. I think that there's probably quite a bit of pressure right now. The tides have turned. And I think it's probably going to cool temperatures quite a bit. I would be willing to bet that Candace is going to have to walk some things back or play this a little more carefully moving forward. And the truth is it would be best for this to be put to rest. It doesn't mean that anyone evades accountability, but truth is what matters most here. And I hope that's what comes of this. I would be willing to bet that Candace walks it back, and this is not going to be continuing down the same path.
Yeah, and Candace did start to face a lot of pressure because of that comment that Erica was the one who could make her stop. Erica did tell her to stop, and people were pointing out that Candace had not stopped.
Right.
So we'll see if it was an in-person thing or not.
Yeah. So, and you guys let me know what you expect from this. I hope. I really do hope so. It's, if you want to go on and say, you want to say Mossad, you want to say the French Legionnaire, the Legionnaire Gendarmerie, whatever, 13th Brigade, even though they don't have brigades, fine. But the implication that TPUSA and his family, and Candace can say she didn't imply Erica Kirk, but you see this out there. A lot of people implying that she was complicit or involved. They're going to have to go through this trial. This is this woman's husband who died. I get it. She's CEO of TPUSA, but she is a grieving widow. I really do hope that there can be a ceasefire here and she can enjoy as best she can Christmas with her family and for the first time children without a father. When you think about it, it really is just.
How many of you?
Okay, so and I'll finish up with Storybox. I do want to give him an opportunity to finish up, but I just want to jump in. I think you're right. I personally think that Candace this past week, it became very clear that she had really messed up. And again, like we're reading in the news now, they're calling her out. We're hearing it from tons of other people that we hadn't heard it from before. And I think people are now becoming aware that she is really messed up. And I don't think there's any way to beat those charges. I just don't think there's any way. Let's let Storybox finish up. But let me know what y'all think for sure in the comments. Shout out to the best and most electrifying live chat on the planet. There goes my sister, Lady Luck Club. Thank you so much for following through this morning. I appreciate it. That's a good question. Do you think Erica had Candace sign an NDA for that meeting? That's a good question. Okay, I'm gonna go with no. But you know what? Let me pause that. Strike that. We will see today. Based upon what happens today, I think the fact that when Candace comes on, if she does her live stream today, her show today, we will know a lot of stuff. We'll be able to read through all those lines. You know what I mean? We really won't need to know what they said if she comes out talking about. And today we'll be knitting. If she comes out like that, we know they hit her with something, right? If she comes out with the same rhetoric that she was talking about last Thursday, well, then we'll know something else. So I'm gonna wait. If you come on tonight when we do our watch party, and we will be doing Candace Bingo, by the way. If you come on during the watch party, just remind me. I don't think anybody signed an NDA, but I really think that she might have been hit with some papers. What if they got her there and they say, oh yeah, by the way, you've been served with a cease and desist. And she comes out today talking about the Macrons as if Charlie Kirk and everything she's been saying about TPUSA didn't happen. Is that possible? I think there's some room there. I think yeah. No, I don't believe her shows are live at all. Do you believe that her shows are live now? No, I don't. I think her shows are recorded. I feel based upon information and belief, her shows are recorded, and they're probably recording it right now. And they edit it, and then they make it available. And that's it. There's no way she's got to show me something more to beat those charges because, yeah. Anyway, let's keep this going. Storybox, let's go.
Are in line with what Stephen Crowder had to say, that Candace will walk it back. She'll start to say things everything's been dealt with between Eric and I. Turning Point's not actually involved. How many of you think that the narcissist psychopath Candace Owens has the capacity to actually walk back any of the things that she has said? Because she said a lot, right? How many of you think that the narcissist psychopath Candace Owens, that has been spreading vile demonic remarks, has got a lot of people in Turning Point, their lives are significantly changed as a result of Candace Owens, and all the conspiracies have been a result of Candace Owens, no doubt about that. How many of you think that she has the decency to apologize, to actually tell the truth? How many of you think that's going to happen? Because I personally don't think it's going to happen. I personally don't think, and I mean, stranger things have happened. I would love.
Shout out to Wayward over here. Okay, I like your thought process. This is what I think is going to happen. So she can save face. So Candace can save face. She's gonna come out. This is what I think will happen. She'll say, I sat down with Erica and I looked into her eyes, and she's going to go down the route of sympathy. She's going to go down the route of, Erica asked me to stop with this. We shared our intel, and she just said, stop. And I said, you're right. I'll stop. I'm over it. She's answered all my questions. She's satisfied my concerns, and I'm stopping. So from now on, and that's what I think how she's going to couch it. She might say it a little bit more flowery than I did, but that's what I think is going to happen. Shout out to Wayward. I like how you're thinking. Where did he go right there? That's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be like Erica told me to stop, and I stopped because I'm doing the right thing. And now I'm still a truth seeker because I know she answered all my questions, and we did this, that, and the other, and I know that and the other, but now I'm going to stop. That's what I think is going to happen. Again, she might say it a little bit better than me because I'm not very flowery this morning because I haven't had my coffee, but I digress. Let's go.
Love to be shocked that Candace Owens, of all people, because I know narcissists and I know psychopaths, they do not like being confronted. But one thing is for certain, losers agree to private meetings. Losers like Candace Owens. And I personally think this is one of the reasons why Megyn Kelly hasn't said anything. I think she may have known beforehand. Otherwise, because she said, I have my reasons and they will be revealed soon.
Good point.
And she didn't reveal any of the reasons because I don't think they were her reasons to actually reveal. I think Erica, it was her responsibility to reveal this is what's going to happen. We're going to be having a private in-person meeting. And I don't know what's going to be said at that meeting. The reality is no one knows. So speculating like Steven Crowder is doing, I don't think that's going to help the situation. I personally think, like, this is my opinion based on track record, based around, and again, I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to be shocked by her response. And this is not speculation. This is based around evidence that we have had time and time and time again. Because on one hand, Candace said one thing that she would stop if Erica Kirk told her to stop. Eric Kirk tells her to stop, and then she twists it and says, she told me to stop lying. So until such time, I'm not going to stop doing it because I'm telling the truth. Erica's got to tell me everything, right? So maybe if this meeting goes well, because I personally think that all the pressure finally got to Candace and she caved, because that's what losers do. They cave to an in-person meeting. It's kind of like the lawyers, so to speak. You know, they've agreed to a deal, right? We've gotten to that place in the mediation whereby they know they can't go any further and they've taken the deal. It's kind of like that, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
But obviously you have the usual suspects like Ginny Robinson going, that bitch talking about Erica Kirk is going to hurt Candace Owens. And Ginny Robinson as well today, that person needs significant help. Let's just say that, was saying, don't go, Candace, don't go at all. And, well, it appears that Candace went. Now, Jackie Shea has made a very interesting point, and I want to highlight it. It's kind of like disgusting that Erica has to sit down with her accuser to ask her to stop, right? It's kind of insane to me that she even has to have this private meeting. It's like that Priam scene in Achilles and asking Achilles to give him back Hector's body. Yeah. And Priam humbled himself and kissed the hands of the murderer that killed his son, Hector. Like, it's sort of very indicative of that, isn't it? Or symbolic of that. Like, Candace is getting, in some regards, what she wants. And loads of people have been saying as well that Erica is just going to give Candace more ammunition, more fuel, and she needs content, right? She's got to keep the grift going. Joel Berry goes, here's what will happen. Candace will come out of the meeting and immediately mischaracterize what was said. She'll get a week's worth of content out of that. Then Erica will be forced to respond. Candace will get another week of content out of that, and on and on and on we go. It just seems like there's no real proper resolve. Obviously, people are praying for a resolution. The quarter ring goes, Eric Kirk has agreed to meet with Candace Owens. I respect the heck out of her for doing this, but the reality is Candace will just betray her yet again and use this for weeks of content. Thing is, the tide has turned on Candace, so it will be interesting. Yeah, will definitely be interesting. And Candace going, I'm very much looking forward to this conversation. That is also very intriguing to me. So Natalie Jean Beisner goes, I don't know her, but from the outside, Erica seems to be an incredibly godly and strong woman, and this is why she looks weird and suspicious. People aren't used to it. Anyone can get on camera and be loud, brash, accusatory, smug, sarcastic, and prideful. Conservative and Christian women online who do this as a dime a dozen. I've fallen into myself at times. Will they all be the number one podcast? No, but they all can do. And it's what's rewarded in our culture. But not everyone allows the Holy Spirit to work through them in the way Mrs. Charlie Kirk does. That is foreign to us in this day and age, and always has been, really. Christians have always been seen as weird and worse by the world. If you're not seen that way, I'd question how sidewinded you really are. Very true. And loads of people have also been saying it's suddenly interesting how Candace Owens is like all of a sudden available for this in-person meeting. And Van Speaks goes, this woman has been through hell and now she has to meet with a lunatic Candace Owens in person to hopefully put an end to the endless conspiracies and lies about Charlie's death that are being pushed purely for engagement. In all honesty, I think that unless Candace is threatened with a lawsuit that not even her husband will be able to cover the bill for, nothing will change. And Frank McCormick goes, here's how this will play out.
Okay, so I disagree. I feel like Turning Point USA does not have to keep engaging with her. They've been as gracious, more gracious than anybody would ever expect them to be. So now they've gone ahead and connected with her. We will see this afternoon, okay? If she comes out, guns a-blazing, talking the same reckless foolishness, then we know that the conversation with Erica didn't do anything. If she comes out and she starts walking it back, we know Steven Crowder was on target, and they're right. If she comes back with a totally different topic, like, hey, let's talk about, farmers markets on Mars, that's going to be a whole nother game. So we got to see what she does. And I can't find that video she did last night when she popped up on X last night, talking about the actual engagement. So if you find it, if you're a mod, drop it in the Discord. Okay, let's go.
Love all these crazy assumptions. Like, I know what's going to happen. Truth is we don't. But anyway, you can look at the track history, of Candace Owens and how she behaves and sort of go along with that in some degree. They will come to an agreement, one that Candace will not honor, but Erica will be temporarily relieved. Candace will say both she and Erica had a productive conversation and that they both want justice for Charlie, immediately elevating herself to Erica's level. Candace will do a brief pause of her show entirely for optics. Eventually, she will come back and claim that she has received new information she cannot ignore. When Candace returns to her investigation, she will argue she is fulfilling the promise she made to Erica during the private conversation to help her seek justice for Charlie. Everything she does after will be framed as the fulfillment of an agreement, which she will purposely be vague about under the auspices of privacy she will claim to have made with Erica. And what will she do if Erica pushes back after this? Now, the thing is, for me, it's never easy to confront anyone. It's never easy. Even if you are the person in the right, it's not easy. If you are a confrontational person, it's a lot easier. If you're not, then it's hard. And I, for one, am not a confrontational person at all, unless I'm like really angry and riled up, which barely ever happens. Let's just say that. I hold myself very calmly. Let's just say that. It takes a lot to get me. So yeah, anyway, I do think that it's very difficult to confront anyone, especially when they are narcissistic, when they are psychopathic, when they lie for a living. And for someone like Candace, I know for a fact when she has been confronted by people, she just puts on a mask and she acts a certain way. She retreats, she cowers back into those lies and defends those lies. And I guess my main thought here would be pray for humility to reign supreme, because that's what would be significantly needed, right? Mm-hmm. In order for Erica to be able to get justice for Charlie, she needs to put a stop, number one, to Candace. And that's not an easy thing to do, especially when that person she's trying to...
I disagree. I don't think it's because, first of all, I think we all agree that Candace is some form of, she's on the spectrum of being a narcissist. So therefore, it's almost impossible for her to stop her. That's why I was praying yesterday, and I've talked about it. God is going to have to stop Candace. Like, God will stop Candace when God is done with using Candace. He'll stop her. I think Erica needs to do exactly what she said in her X post, and that is get back to work. They got AmFest literally starting in 3 days, 2 days. They need to be about that and focusing on that and focusing on keeping the momentum that came post Charlie Kirk. They need to get that momentum back. I don't think the back and forth with Candace is what needs to be happening. I personally think there's going to be enough people on Candace's bumper that Turning Point USA doesn't need to worry about it, in my opinion. But I'd like to hear what y'all think about that. But let's keep going. Storybox, let's finish.
But a stop to is a lunatic and like profiting enormously from this. So it looks like Erica is going to either tell her the truth or make her an offer she cannot refuse, meaning a lawsuit.
Facts.
One can hope that would be the reality of it, or maybe she'll just show Candace everything. Say, this is what we got. You are destroying Charlie's legacy. You claim to be his friend, but who knows? That's the reality of it. Like we don't know until we know. So I guess we'll wait to see what ends up becoming of this, but it'd be very interesting. I will say that. Whether or not I think it's a good decision from Erica, I don't think it's a good decision, considering what we know of Candace. But nevertheless, once again, stranger things have occurred. I guess she knows what she's doing, and we'll have to trust her. And I'm all for like confronting a person in private first and then doing it publicly. She told her to stop. See what happens. Anyway, that's enough from me. You guys take care. Be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Take care, Jay. Great guy, man. By the way, that story box, and of course, the link is down in the description. Thank you so much to the mods for taking care of that for us. I don't think it's as much hand-wringing as we're making it out to be. And I also don't know where my video clip I just pulled up went. Why is it not available? Okay, here it is right here. All right. I'm going to bring in Candace's response. You know, she's undefeated when it comes to being online. She's terminally online. So last night after the meeting, she did a quick little Twitter post, whatever you want to call it, X post. And I just want to bring it in just so y'all can see. And again, we will see this afternoon. Ultimately, that's what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and bring this in. Green hearts in the chat. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear. Let's go.
4.5 hours later, I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm totally fine. And I'm sorry. I was going to do a show for you guys this evening, but I am truly exhausted. Very productive conversation. I asked every single question. I mean, from Egyptian planes to Turning Point USA Faith. And I was very surprised by some of the answers that I got. And I think they were also very surprised when I shared certain intel. This probably should have happened a very long time ago, but I wanted to let you guys know that I am alive, and I will have the full rundown for you guys tomorrow of what transpired. And yeah, I think it was definitely a very big step in the right direction. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, we're going to watch it again, and I'm going to stop. To me, this only solidified that she's going to change positions. She's not going to come out. If she does a show today, it will not be the same kind of tone. She's going to, again, don't be surprised if she comes out here talking about going in a whole different direction. So watch out, all maroon shirt wearers. Watch out, Mossad. Watch out, bee farmers, underground bees, communist bee farms. Don't be surprised if TPUSA is no longer mentioned or brought up. Let me bring it in and just listen again. Shout out to the most electrifying live chat on the planet. Here we go.
4.5 hours later, I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm totally fine. And I'm sorry. I was going to do a show for you guys this evening, but I am truly exhausted. Very productive conversation.
Okay, this is going to stop real quick. put some B's in the chat. I do think the I'm alive comment is super inappropriate, but Candace likes to do that. She loves to use inappropriate language. Yeah, the I'm alive is just nasty work. That's just inappropriate, in my opinion. I think that's, but watch where she goes next. I just want you to see that. Fill the chat up with B's. Let's go. The letter B even. Like, I mean, all B's matter, right? Okay, let's go.
Very productive conversation. I asked every single question. I mean,
every single question. That is the indicator that she's done. She's not going to have it. She asked every single question. If she says it, every single question, she makes sure she enunciates every one of those syllables. That's why I believe she might come out today talking about, farmers markets on the dark side of the moon. Don't be surprised. If she moves in that direction, do not be shocked. Do not be surprised and say, how did we get here? Whatever happened? Just listen to her again.
Single question. I mean,
oh wait, back up, Jason.
Every single question. I mean, from Egyptian planes to Turning Point USA faith, and
those are her two biggest issues. The planes. Shout out, and we will be talking about the planes. Don't worry. Do not worry. But she was talking about the planes. She's talking about Turning Point faith. She said every single question. She's done. She's going to move in a different direction. Now, I'm not certain that they didn't give her an offer that she can't deny. I'm not saying that. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. But she's telling y'all, I'm moving in a different direction. Watch out to the bees. Shout out to all the maroons. Hold on. Make sure we got my maroon right here. All the maroon gangsters, be ready. We're going to be back on the slate again, boys and girls. Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, from Egyptian planes to Turning Point USA faith. And I was very surprised by some of the answers that I got. And I think they were also very surprised when I shared certain intel. This probably should have happened a very long time ago, but I wanted to let you guys know that I am alive, and I will have the full rundown for you guys tomorrow of what transpired. And yeah, I think it was definitely a very big step in the right direction. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I think the reason they were surprised by your intel, Candace, is they're like, wait, you are a whole grown adult that functions on her own, and you believe this stuff that you're talking about. That's probably why they were surprised by your intel. They're like, hold on, wait, you mean to tell me you ran with this from a tip on the tip line, and you're an adult? Okay. And you're an adult that has birthed other little adults. I mean, other little humans. Wow. That's probably why they were stunned. They probably were taken back like, wait, hold on. You were for real about those Egyptian planes? And we will be talking about the planes, y'all. I got the video ready and queued up. I'm waiting to make sure it's been edited, but we will be talking about the planes. So we might start early today. I'll just let you know that ahead of time. We might start the stream a little bit early today and get that off the plate because I got some other things. She's a grifting adult. Well, there's that as well. There's that truth as well. So real quick, shout out to the best live chat on the planet. What we got up in here? What they saying? Please pray for Australia, most certainly, and continue to call out Mrs. Farmer. Love to you all. P.S. I can't watch this crazy woman without you. Well, guess what? I'm glad that you're here. Thank you so very much. Miss Wendy Woo, thank you so much for the 5 Australian. Grace and peace to you. We're praying for Australia for sure. Man, but shout out to Laura being a member for 6 months. Candace will not stop. I think the word stop needs to be evaluated. I think she's going to stop with the TPUSA did everything. That part, I think that one's off the table now. In my opinion. She said she asked all her questions, blah, 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 blah. They answered. I think she's going to say, look, and kind of like Storybox said, you know what, I can't tell you what they said, but they satisfied my questions. So I'm done with that. Now I know back that it was Mossad, or I know that it was the underground bees, or I know it was whomever. You know, what's his name? Phil Lyman. Phil Lyman, watch out, my guy. She might be coming for you. Shout out. Thank you so much for the 7 Australian. The 8 Australian says this. This awful situation has exposed some unexpected people, not TPUSA, and I'm grateful for that at least. Absolutely. Y'all, I got a good one for y'all later on today about Candace and some of her relationships, some of the people that have been standing strong, fighting for Candace. I got some information about why they do that. Shout out to MT. Thank you always for supporting the channel. Sharing intel is sending me playing dollhouse. Really, like she thinks that she's some kind of, ma'am, we don't take anonymous tips from a tip line and run with that as intel. That is not what it is, ma'am. But I mean, that's how she rolls. That's how Candace gets down. But y'all, thank y'all so much, man. This was a quick morning live stream. I just want to talk about, of course, what has been going on with Candace and Erica. And of course, there'll probably be more stuff as the day gets going, as people get their coffee going, there might be more stuff. Don't be surprised if I start at 2:00. At the current moment, I'm gonna start at 4. But who knows? I might pop up in here. Look, we might be starting at lunch and just take it all the way to the end of the day. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you to the best live chat on the internet. Y'all are the best. I mean, really, you are the real MVP. Shout out to all of y'all. And thank you so much to all my great content creators. I saw Bronson in here. Shout out to Lady Luck Club. Please, can you all make sure the mods, make sure that all their information is in the chat. Definitely want to support what they're doing. What do we have here? Well, wow, thank you so much for the 20 right here. Debbie says this: I just can't keep up anymore with all her theories. Israel, TPUSA, Maroon people, French assassins, Erica. Okay, you can take TPUSA off and Erica off. Israel, I don't know. They're going to catch it. Maroon people, they're in trouble. French, they're in trouble. You're going to have to throw Egypt in there. You got the underground bee farm. You don't got that? Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of craziness. There's actually a guy who listed off all the theories that she's had, and it is the craziest story. I'll have that ready for us this afternoon. It is crazy to hear everybody that she's accused. And guess what? Spoiler alert, none of them are Tyler Robinson. That's the craziest part. Like she's accusing everybody under the sun except Tyler Robinson, except the one that's actually on trial for it. Everybody else can catch strays. Everybody else. Like this little charger on my desk is catching strays, right? You catching strays, but Tyler Robinson, he's sunshine and rainbows. That is the craziest work I ever saw in my life. Shout out to the best live chat. Thank you so much to everybody who jumped in. Thank you for the very kind supers. I really appreciate you all. I do have a couple fun videos dropping today. I will be talking about the planes this afternoon. Oh my gosh, because I've been saying it. I told y'all that. We'll be talking about the planes. I'm also going to talk about one of Candace's most ardent defenders and why I believe this person has been defending Candace tooth and nail, and it is not as altruistic as we thought. I'm gonna put it out there. Stay tuned. I'll see y'all this afternoon. Everybody, thank you again. Oh, wait, by the way, shout out. Thank you so much. Debbie says she's cray-cray. Look, I'm trying to tell you. Thank you so much, Debbie, for the $5 super as well. I really appreciate it. Everybody, have a fantastic day. Get out there, enjoy yourselves, and I'm going to see you all this afternoon. Grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.